Hi everyone, hope you're good. So I thought I'd pop on today and do a flip through and first impressions of one of my recent tarot decks. It's called Tarot for Kids, written by Teresa Reed and illustrated by Kylie Whitman. So it's got here, includes deck, guidebook and everything you need to start practicing tarot. Tarot is a great resource for decision making, creative thinking, learning to trust your intuition, and so much more. Plus, it's a lot of fun. Kids will love learning to read tarot on their own with their friends. Tarot for Kids includes 78 beautifully illustrated cards plus a 76-page guidebook that includes a brief history of tarot, the meaning of the cards, and how to perform readings. Get ready for hours of fun. And this is for age 8 and upwards. I'm glad that she's included the age, because sometimes the word children is open to interpretation. Okay. So this is a regular tap box. Before we go into the cards, let's have a look at the guidebook. So I'm not quite sure if Sound True is the publisher, but it's got a nice, like, like front page. That looks like swords and wands, with the branches coming out. It's got a very clear contents page which says introduction before you get started, what is tarot, how to do a tarot reading, great questions, tarot spreads, the cards, and a conclusion. Welcome to Tarot for Kids. I'm so glad that you have found your way to this deck of cards, and I'm happy to be your teacher on this journey. You are holding a very special set of cards in your hands. Tarot is like a trusted friend, one you can count on for advice and support. Tarot for Kids is based on the traditional Rider-Waite's tarot deck with 78 fully illustrated cards. A few card names have been changed, but don't worry, it's still tarot. Open the deck, examine each card, notice what the images say to you. You might feel excited or maybe a little overwhelmed. You might even wonder how you will remember all the images on the cards. Trust me, everyone feels the same way when they see a tarot deck for the first time. Take a deep breath and know that you will get the hang of reading tarot cards more quickly than you can imagine. Learning to read tarot is like learning to speak a new language. If you practice regularly, you will start seeing the stories and your future unfolding before your eyes. Come along, shuffle the deck, and let's read tarot. Teresa Reed, aka the Tarot Lady. Isn't that beautiful? And then it talks about what to do before you get started. So before you begin reading tarot cards, there are a few things that you might want to gather. First, you need a blank notebook that you'll use as a tarot journal to record your recordings. Writing down your readings will help you learn the meanings of the cards and develop confidence in your skills. Throughout this book, there are journaling questions to inspire you. Be sure to write your answers to these questions in your journal. When you look back at your notes later on, you might be surprised to see how much you've learned about tarot and yourself. When choosing a tarot journal, be sure to pick one that you'll enjoy writing in. It can be a large or small, have pages with lines or pages that are blank. You also want pens, pencils, markers, and other art supplies that make you happy. Your tarot journal isn't limited only to writing. You can draw, sketch, paste pictures from magazines, or add glitter. Make it unique to you. You'll also need a cloth bag or box to keep your tarot deck in when you're not using it. This will protect it from spills, nosy cats, or little brothers or sisters. In order to keep your cards in good shape, always wash your hands before holding them. You may want to ask other people to do the same thing if you're going to let them touch your cards. Take care when you're shuffling the deck and ask others to do the same. Don't be afraid to give your cards a good shuffle, but don't be rough either. When you've done working with the cards, be sure to store them securely. I keep mine in a box with a pretty crystal on top. And when it talks about what tarot is, so it's a little brief history about the tarot cards. When it tells you how to do a tarot reading, how to shuffle your cards, how to read tarot for family and friends, and great questions. This is interesting because I think the question forms the reading, and if you don't give a clear question, or you don't have a clear intention, sometimes the reading will come back unclear as well. That's just my personal opinion. In a tarot reading, a good question leads to a clear answer. Avoid should I or will I questions, as well as questions that result in a yes or no answer. These type of questions are not empowering. They can make you feel like you don't have a choice, but you always do. You can create your best future and can change every situation, even ones that seem impossible. It all begins with making good decisions. Tarot can show you how to do that, provided you are ready and willing to do the work. Here are some examples of 10 great questions. Question 1, what do I need to know about this situation? 2, what is the best decision I can make right now? 3, where is this going? 4, what is the next likely outcome if I choose ? What's the best way to ? How can I help support ? At this time? I have a great feeling about blank. What do I need to know about my hunch? What is the best way to improve my relationship with blank? What will the results be if I blank? How can I make the most of this situation? One thing I've noticed though, that all these questions are predictive, aren't they? These 10 questions to me are predictive questions. Use these examples as a guide, but feel free to create your own questions too. Remember, practice makes perfect, but you never have to be perfect. When you first begin working with tarot cards, you may feel shy or uncertain. You might be worried that you make a mistake or give bad advice. Every person feels this when they first start. I know I did. You might make errors when you begin, but soon enough you'll get the hang of it. Like learning to play the piano, consistent practice will help you gain speed and mastery. Don't give up. Daily practice will have you acting tarot in no time. When it talks about tarot spreads, there's a 1-card spread, beginning, middle and end spread, a situation, what you need to know, an advice spread, summary, and then it talks a bit about the cards. And then it goes into each card. So this is a major arcana, and it says the major arcana symbolizes the big picture, important messages or life lessons. And it gives you upright and reverse meanings. So for example, I'm going to read out the 4 for you. Be brave, try something new, take a chance. When you see the 4, it means that it's time for an exciting new adventure. This is a great moment to try something you haven't done before. Do something differently. Challenge yourself to be a little bit braver than usual. Take risks, but do it safely. Then the reverse meaning says, sometimes we're not ready to take a risk. Maybe you haven't had time to prepare, or perhaps you need more support. When the 4 is reversed, it's saying, not now. It's okay to wait until you feel up to it. And when it gives you a question, what's something new that you would like to try? So it's got that layout for each of the cards in the major arcana. So it gives you the upright, reverse and question. I would have liked to see a bit more pictures though in this guidebook, since it is a not a children's deck, but it's from 8 years upwards, and a lot of children or people who like childlike decks do like pictures or do reading pictures like me, I tend to read better in pictures or get understandings more when I see it in picture form. And then again, like the major arcana, the minor arcana gives you the meaning of the card. Well, so first of all, it gives you a keyword, then the meaning, upright meaning, reverse meaning, and question. So, for example, the Ace of Wands creates, the keyword is create something new. When you see the Ace of Wands, it means that you might have an exciting creative idea. Maybe you are inspired to write a book or paint a picture. Maybe someone will ask you to get involved in a play, express yourself. This card also signals yes to any question. Reverse. If this card shows up reverse, it's a thumbs down to your question. It's also a sign that new things are on hold. You may want to start something, but you have to be patient. The time is not right. Question: what is your favorite way to express your creativity? So again, it's got this layout for all of the minor arcanas. Yep. So I think it's quite a nice, well-written book. How many pages is it? It should be 94. Oh, 96 pages. And I like the fact that it's clearly structured, plain English, no waffle. This is my kind of book. But I would have liked to see some pictures for the cards. Because bearing in mind, if this is aimed for a younger audience, you know, it's a bit wordy, I think, you know. I think pictures would also have helped in the guidebook. So let's have a look at the cards. These are quite big cards. Now, if I compare it to my Tasmania African Tarot deck, which is the same size as a regular RWS deck, you can see that there's a big size difference. Look at that. Now, if I compare it to my Doreen Virtue Love Romance Angel, which is a typical oracle size deck, is even bigger than the Doreen Virtue Oracle decks. So I'm only assuming that's the case because this is probably a study deck. That's what I'm assuming. So let's have a look at the cards. So the Fool, Magician. I really like the imagery, you know, it's very calming. Now the High Priestess has been changed to the Moon Queen, the Empress, the Emperor. It looks a bit like Father Christmas. The Hierophant has been changed to Rose. Oh, Lovers is best friends. The Chariot. Strength. The Hermit. It's an interesting Hermit card. You know, you can't tell whether it's masculine or feminine energy. The Will. Justice. It's a cool Justice card. Patience. That's interesting for what is traditionally the hanged one or hangman. Change, which is death. Balance, which is temperance in the traditional deck. The Bully, which is the devil. The Tower. The Star. The Moon. Beautiful sun card, my favourite plants, the sunflowers. And it's got a more, I say that's more of a teenager than a child. But then it all depends, like I said earlier on what your definition of a child is, because, you know, do you classify a child as someone between the age of 2 to 18, or do you classify a child as your inner child, or do you class a child as a young adult, which is up to 24? It depends on what you call a child. Judgment. The world. Beautiful. Moving on to the suit of wands. So you've got the Ace of Wands. Two of Wands. Three of Wands. That's interesting though, because normally, you know, on Three of Wands, the person's facing the water, you know, that they're looking forward to their ships coming in. But on this one, the water's behind them. Four of Wands. And I like the full-figured archetype in the picture, because I find with a lot of children, you know, they're fixated on looking slim, and this, so it's nice to embrace having a fuller figure in the tarot deck, I think. Five of Wands. Like teenagers. I like the Six of Wands, but the Six of Wands, I like that the Six of Wands is female. Seven. It's Eight of Wands. Nine of Wands. And 10 of Wands. So moving on to the court cards, you've got the Page, the Knight, the Queen. I like the way that the sunflowers are emphasised quite big in this deck. And the King of Wands. So let's look at the Suit of Cups. Two of Cups. That looks like a lover's card, doesn't it, with the angel and stuff. Three of Cups, which is on the box, this card. Four of Cups. Five. Reminiscing about the past. Got all those choices in those cups. It looks like the choices are bigger than the actual archetype, so maybe these are big choices, big decisions. Eight of Cups. Moving on to the court cards, you've got the Page, the fish out of water there. Knight. Queen of Cups. And King of Cups. So moving on to the Suit of Swords, which is my favourite suit. Got the Ace. Two of Swords. This is a really nice Three of Swords. Four. Five. Look at the little dog. Seven. Eight. I like the fact that this is really loosely bound, so she can always free herself. It's just her mental thoughts that are trapping her. Nine of Swords. And 10 of Swords. Moving on to the court cards, you've got the Page, the Knight, Queen, and the King. Moving on to the Suit of Coins, so you've got the Ace, the Two, Three of Coins working together, Four, Five of Coins, Six, Seven, coins. Beautiful fruitful garden. 10 of coins, and then got the page, the knight, queen of coins, and finally the king of coins. Okay, so let's see how these cards shuffle, because they are a bit on the large side, and considering they're for age 8 and plus, they are a bit big to shuffle, but they shuffle okay for me. But I'm thinking like an 8-year-old with small hands, or a younger person with small hands might find this a challenge. But then I'm wondering if they're designed to be shuffled a different way. So let me just check in the guidebook what it says about shuffling. How to shuffle your cards. Take the deck and begin shuffling the cards in a way that feels easy for you. There is no right or wrong way to do it. Some people like to move the cards between their hands, while others prefer to shuffle them like playing cards. I've seen people fan the cards out on the table, mess them up and put them back together. There is no rule, just what feels right for you. Okay, so I guess that I'm being a bit biased then, because this is my way of shuffling, and I guess people will find their way to shuffle. So what do I think of this deck? I love it. You know, I do like childlike looking decks, even for myself to use. So I think this deck is not just for children. I believe that adults can use it as too. I just think the cards are a bit on the large side though for a younger child or an 8-year-old, you know, because it says from 8 upwards. But apart from that, I like the imagery. It's quite soft. I like the fact that some of the cards have been changed. Like, for example, I think it was the Devil's been changed to Bully, and the Lovers has been changed to Best Friends. I like those changes in the cards, and even the Hangman's been changed to Patience, so that's nice. I think it was Death has been changed to Change. So I will leave a link to this deck in the description bar. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye for now.